Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Wavy Therapy Session, and it is a day of celebration. It is a day of celebration. I am so happy. I am so happy. Today was special. Today was wonderful. I could not ask for better news. Eric Ten Hag is officially out as Manchester United's manager. And Manchester United fans, this is the best news we have heard in 3 years. The last time we heard news this good, it was because we got a new manager. I'm letting you know right now. This is beautiful. I'm so thrilled. I'm so happy. I'm celebrating. I'm bringing out the native. You feel me? I'm bringing out the native clothes today to celebrate this day. You feel me? We have to do it. There's over 120 of you in here. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I have my partner in crime, Brian, with me. What is good? What is good,
Well,
bro?
honestly, it was a very strange morning for me. Very strange. Um, for you guys that don't know, I live in the United States. I'm on the East Coast, so the news broke really around 8, 9 a.m. in the morning for me, and I was asleep. Like my phone was buzzing. My brother called me. I was like, and I picked up my phone. I looked at it and I saw Ten Hag missacked. To be honest, I had zero reaction. I was like, yeah, he should have missacked, and I went back to sleep. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I've been so pissed off at the fact that this should have happened ages ago. I didn't want to tweet anything. I didn't want to react. I wasn't even happy. I wasn't celebrating. I was just like, whatever, he's gone. Now, fast forward 5, 6 hours, and for me, the biggest thing, what makes this even more delicious, the fact that we are getting the manager that I've wanted for the last 2 years, which is Ruben Amorim. That's
Bro,
where I'm actually very excited because I was pissed off at Ineos. We've been blue balled for a long time with Ten Hag, and he's gone, right? And thanks for the trophies, bro. We don't have to hear those things again. We don't have to hear I've won 2 trophies. We don't have to hear any of that nonsense. I'm just like, okay, good riddance. Let's move forward. And man, people have smoked packs on Ten Hag's head. I'm gonna do that this weekend.
are
Celebrate my
so
birthday. Yeah,
happy
um,
birthday, bro.
this weekend is gonna be for me when I'm gonna be just really just like, okay, he's gone. I can love my football team again to an extent where I'm like looking forward to football games because with Ten Hag, I had lost interest. I was just like, yeah, I'm done for this season. I'm not really excited. I don't want to watch the games. I don't want to cover anything. I don't want to talk about the tactics. So it's good in that sense that we're finally moving forward. And I think, if I'm being honest, I don't think this West Ham result was an indication of if he was going to stay or go. With how fast this Amorim thing has happened for me.
No, bro. When I saw the news this morning, you were the first person I thought of. I was like, there's no way we're actually gonna get this guy. Like, there's no way we're actually going to. I was saying people were talking about Thomas Frank.
No,
People,
Jesus.
people were uttering Saeed. Saeed.
Oh
You were
man.
arguing with me about Thomas Frank. You were arguing with me about Thomas Frank, and we are going to get Ruben Amorim.
They told me it was impossible. I
Bro,
said it so many times on Saeed's show. They told me it was
they
impossible.
said it wasn't going to happen. I was telling you, we are still Manchester United at the end of the day. We can be in 14th place, no wins in the Europa League in 3 games, and Ruben Amorim still wants to come to us. He's still doing a deal with us. I'm telling you, I said be patient. I said everyone be patient. You feel me? I said I'm gonna get. I literally said this. I said I'm gonna give. I know, right? They said, Brian, where's your iPad? That's hilarious. They said,
Short
where's
notice, man. Short notice. I didn't know he was gonna do this.
I told this, I told this man 15 minutes before I said I'm putting on native clothes, bro. Just it's okay, bro. No, but like I was telling Saeed, I said, bro, or I was telling Staffy really, I said I'm gonna give Ineos till December. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said I'm angry. I am angry, but I am gonna wait till I think he's gonna get sacked in December. That's what I said. They even made it quicker. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then people are really acting like we don't have pull as Manchester United. Bro, Ruben, with all due respect to Sporting Lisbon, it's Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near the level of Manchester United. It's nowhere
And
near.
he has a release clause, guys.
Yes,
That's why I'm confident it's gonna be finalized. And plus, David Ornstein, he's not gonna talk about something like this unless it's pretty
facts.
much
It's
done.
concrete.
So he has a release clause. United are gonna want to pay it. I don't think they want to wait for next season. You don't want that situation where maybe Real Madrid they get rid of Ancelotti, not get rid of, but he retires. They let him go. And Man City are looking at a new coach. You don't want to be in that situation where you're like competing with three other big clubs. So for us, let's get him in now. Allow him to see what the team's about, see what players he needs. And listen, he wants to do things his own way. He is very fixed in the way he wants to operate. People are like, we'll get into it about Ten Hag, but yeah, just reading what David Ornstein says there. This is a done deal, man. This is
Yeah,
a
bro.
done deal.
Bro, facts. This comment, I want to unpack this. Shout out Blizzard Blue, bro. He said I was ready to stop watching United until this manager left after the West Ham result. I've never felt this low as a Man United fan the last 2 years. Let me tell you about my weekend, people. I made the executive decision to not watch that match prematurely. I knew I was not watching that West Ham match
Yeah.
2 days before. This weekend, shout out to my lovely parents. They celebrated 30 years of marriage, you feel me? So I was like, so we celebrated on Sunday, we had a nice little gathering at church, whatever. It was great. All that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why would I be watching Manchester United when I could be celebrating with my parents? You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like my mom celebrated her birthday last week. My dad celebrated his birthday. It was their anniversary. Like, bro, there was too many good things going on in my life to ever think I'm gonna ruin that weekend with Manchester United. Like, no chance in hell was I going to do that. Like, no chance. And then I purposely didn't look up the score. I said, and then I tweeted, I said, how do we do? Right? As I'm refreshing my page, I see the score. I said, wow. I said, I'm so grateful I did not watch that match. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
And I will not watch the match. I will not go back and watch that match. That match will never, my eyes will never see it. Not
You
even
know,
like
you know what that game reminds me of is I can't remember the exact game, but remember Roy Hodgson, I think when he was at Liverpool and Steven Gerrard misses that penalty that I think that saw him get sacked. Was Roy Hodgson that was the manager? But I think it is. Dallo had that chance, man. Empty net.
I
It's
did see
funny looking back at it
that.
now.
I did see that chance, to be fair. That was crazy.
And he completely blazes it.
That was on purpose.
Like, like, dude, that looked, when you go back and
That
watch it
looked
now in hindsight, it looks hilarious. He
like
completely blazes this thing like he doesn't care. So I don't know. I think the squad it was starting to get done with him. I think they've tried. People said that the players down twos. No, guys, they've tried. We've like, which player is down in twos outside of Rashford, who has really been the one that's been just doesn't look at it for the most part. Most of the players, they tried to play the way he wants to play, and it hasn't worked. And we spent 600 million pounds, guys.
bro,
600 million.
600 million British pound sterling, the most valuable currency in the world. That's how much we spent on this match. Over 600. And we are in 14th place. We're in
It's
14th
crazy.
place.
Diabolical, man.
14th. People, there was actually people I saw on the internet still saying we should give him time. In 14th place, no wins in the Europa League after 3 matches. They're saying give him more time. It's the player's fault. Bruh, honestly, I didn't want to, he is the worst manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. He really is.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to try and say, oh, you know what? Well, at least he's won trophies. Bro, Ollie was not this
His
bad.
numbers are so bad. Like, when you look at the metrics, the metrics of everything is so bad. Like, guys, goal scored. Well, I've never, like, people will be like, oh, Sir Alex Ferguson has retired. Manchester United is probably the only big club I've seen in any banter era that's had like minus goal difference.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he's the only one that I've seen. Liverpool weren't like that.
Arsenal?
Arsenal weren't like that. Chelsea weren't like that. No big club I've seen in last 20 years has had zero or negative goal difference. Guys, he was horrible. And I don't like the way people are coming out and saying, oh, well, Manchester United again, the players through dude, that hasn't happened. That just hasn't happened. His tactics were horrible. And for people are coming out and saying, well, you wanted Ten Hag, so why do you want Amorim now? But guys, Ten Hag himself came out and told us and said, I cannot play the way I played at Ajax at Manchester United. What am I supposed to do with that information? As someone
Fact.
that loves like football and wanted a coach, oh, based on what you did at Ajax, you're coming to Manchester United now and telling me, all right, guys, I can't play that way. What am I supposed to do? That was the whole reason why you got hired. And now you didn't want to do it anymore. For whatever reason.
Mind you, we
So
still
Amorim is not going to do that. Let me just be clear. Amorim is not going to do that.
no.
So
Listen, I did do like Brian. I did do my due diligence on, and I definitely did some research on Emerim. You feel me? Before, like a
yeah.
couple weeks back, when we were talking
Yeah.
about, we talked about this a couple weeks back. I did my due diligence, and I didn't know he was that young. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know he's
I
not
remember, I remember seeing him play. I remember him as a footballer, so I knew he was young.
he's not even 40. He's not even 40 years old. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like that sporting the amount of money he spent in comparison to his to Benfica and Porto is not comparable. And he's besting them.
he's bopping them, man.
Like
He's
bopping them off.
bopping them.
Like he has multiple formations he can play. He's creative. Like he can do different things. He has humility. Like all he can relate to players. All things that Eric Ten Hag literally cannot do. Eric Ten Hag was never adaptable. Number one, he never adapted to anything in the league. Very, very one track minded. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. That's all he knew. That's all he knew.
Hmm.
Also, with the players, man management, the worst I've ever seen. The worst I
By
have ever,
far.
by far. He fell out with almost everybody. He fell out with Varane. He fell out with Casemiro. He fell out with Sancho. He fell out with Rashford. Like he fell out with so many players. Like it's actually Cristiano Ronaldo. He fell out with. Like he fell out with everybody, and I gave him chances. I gave him the benefit. I said, Cristiano, you weren't playing well enough. You're not of this
Yeah,
level.
yeah. We went with the manager's side and we tried to defend him. You
But
know.
in hindsight, Cristiano, I'm sorry. You saw it early.
Hmm.
Early. Were you good enough? Probably not still. Listen, he wasn't good enough at the time.
Yeah, two things
Still,
can be wrong at the same
yeah,
time. Yeah.
exactly. But still, he was 100% right about the way this manager is. He's disrespectful. He lacks empathy. He lacks the ability to relate to players. He needed to go. He needed to go. And I'm gonna give you the floor to talk a bit more about Amarin because you've
Yeah.
been studying him much longer than I have. You feel me? Like you've been
Yeah.
studying much longer than I have. So let's just maybe we'll take a second. Talk to us about why you have been so high on Amarin for you've been talking about this longer than anyone that I've seen. So
Yeah.
so tell me why you felt that way from so early.
So Ruben, just to give you guys a brief history, he started managing in lower division tier for Portugal in a Portuguese league. Then I think he went into Braga, managed their second team, their youth team. Then he managed Braga's main team, and then he went into Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon. But the key thing with all those managerial movements, it happened really quickly because he was doing so well. So well, in fact, that when Sporting Lisbon, I believe, appointed him, they paid a release clause to get him. Right? That's how good he was. Now you can be like, that's the Portuguese league, but that's the data sample we have. Now the way he plays, obviously everybody knows by now, he's playing 3-4-3 system, which I don't have an issue with because the main thing is that he's still attacking with those three forwards in place. He likes his forwards being really narrow. The width is coming from the fullbacks. That is still what Manchester United fans want. You want width, you want wide attacking forwards. He's still gonna give you that. Forget the fact you're seeing three at the back. It's whatever. Systems now are very fluid. I wouldn't worry too much about that. But he wants his forward line. The key thing that I see with him, especially this season, because this season the record is he's won 9 out of 9 games, guys. He scored 30 goals. His team has only conceded twice in 9 games. That is an unbelievable. Like, I don't care what league you play in. You play 9 games and you concede only 2 goals. I'm going to be like, what the hell?
That is
That is
crazy.
crazy.
30-2
Okay,
ratio.
that is insane, guys. He's getting better as a coach, right? He's still getting better. Like his first season, his second season, he's getting better each time. And his tactical knowledge, his tactical flexibility is getting better. Even this season, more so than any other season. The way they attack, it's less I would say it's less like super structured like you'd see with Ten Hag. It's more like it's very fluid. It reminds me of a team that played football in 2008, 2009, 2010, where his attackers like Chelsea back then when they had players like they had their striker, they had really all those really like Oscar kind of players, those people that really played centrally, Mata, that kind of player. That's what Ruben Amorim likes. So when you have those kind of players that play centrally, that want to pass to each other, and then release a dangerous forward like Goikarez, that's all that's really the thing. That's what he's been doing. So for me, it suits Manchester United's ethos. He's more of a classical style manager. He's not like De Zerbi. He's not like Ange Postecoglou. He's not like those guys who are like, this is how, like, he wants to play a certain way, but more than anything, he wants to win. Okay? He wants to win. So if he knows his team isn't good enough, he's not going to force his team to do something that they can't do just quite yet. But he will get the best and maximize out of the talent that he has. Right? You can do both. People always make it seem you have to do one or the other, where you have to do suicidal things like Ange and lose games you shouldn't lose. Or you can do the other way, where you maximize your talent, you still play the way you want to play, but you're not going to force certain players that don't have the skill set to do what they can do. Because why? Ruben Amorim is a fantastic communicator. Just watch any of his press conferences in English. The way he speaks, the way he talks, he's a natural leader. Like, that's one of the things, the human component of Ruben Amorim is one of the reasons why I really, really like him. Like, he sounds like the kind of person I just would want to have a conversation with. Like, he's a very good speaker. You see him in conferences, like Temi said, he's not arrogant. He comes across very, very well. Players will love him. Like, I'm telling you just right now, players are gonna love Ruben Amorim. He's very calm, very good way he speaks, very intelligent, very emotionally understanding. So with players, they buy into the way he wants to play really, really quickly. That's one of his biggest strengths, and his ability to adapt to any squad he manages. So he's gonna want to do his own way, but he's gonna get everybody on side. Now, if at the end of the day they don't end up working, I don't think you're ever gonna see a situation where Amorim is gonna be just beefing with a player. That's just not gonna happen. That's not the way he operates. He's much more intelligent than that. He's a very much, yes, I want to do my own way, but I want everybody on side. He's like I don't want to like him to Mourinho, because people are going to start saying, oh, is he going to win trophies like Mourinho and all that kind of stuff. But it's like a modern day version where Mourinho used to have such good relationships with players. Ruben Amorim does that. And in Portugal, that's what they call him. They call him a young Mourinho. That's what they call him there. So that's not even my own term. So ultimately, tactically, we can unpack him, having some issues. I saw on Twitter where some people were saying the way he plays is a little bit open, all that kind of stuff. Listen, any team that wants to play attacking style football is going to have situations where they're open. But his team has only conceded 2 goals, guys. So how open is his team actually is? And even if you watch him in Europe, in Champions League, they don't concede a lot of goals. His team in Europe is probably statistically, I think, one of the lowest XG conceders in the whole of Europe. So I don't know where tacticals are getting this thing from, but ultimately, tactically, eye tests, he qualifies a lot, and I think on the human side, he's a really good pick. So that's why I've been going crazy about Amorim for like 2 years. That's insane.
Crazy.
That's
It's
crazy.
We'll answer some of there's tons of questions in the chat, guys. There's so many people active, man. We have almost 400 people on Twitter and YouTube combined. For those of you on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 50 likes on the stream. We're gonna go for a little while because there's a lot of things to discuss. You feel me? But yeah, no, there's a tons of questions in here, man. People are asking about Bruno Fernandez specifically. Where do you see Bruno fitting in this team? Because I hope Amorim means the end of Bruno. Listen, I'll start here. If Ruben Amorim is playing Bruno consistently,
Yeah.
I'm worried. I'm worried. Bro, I'm sorry. I know I want to believe. I want to believe that
Yeah.
maybe he fix Bruno. I hope this is the end of Bruno Fernandez. Honestly, I really hope so. Like, if he wants to play in a 3-4-3 system, where does Bruno fit into that? You feel me? Like, I don't see it.
I don't see it either, and that's part of the reason why I wanted Amorim. Now people are going to be like, he's Portuguese, blah blah blah. The boy was Sporting. I don't think he's going to play. Like, I think this might be the end of Bruno Fernandes. I think this might be the end of Marcus Rashford. Maybe that's me inhaling so much copium, but with the way he wants his forwards to be, Marcus is going to struggle being a left. Like, he wants his forwards to be able to pick up the ball in tight spaces and be very flexible with their movement. And Rashford is not that guy. He wants to run in behind. He wants to do things a little bit different tactically. With the way he plays, he's a straight line runner, and I don't think he has that high level of IQ. He's not really a low center of gravity dribbler, which Amorim likes in his forwards to be. So I don't think it's going to happen. And with Bruno Fernandes, he's going to struggle with the same thing because he's going to play two central midfielders and two inside forwards really. So I don't see the space for Bruno. And I don't, Amorim is not the guy. He's going to try because he's coming mid-season and see what he can get out of these players. But because of the way he sets up and his principles, I think he's going to see Manchester United not have these guys long term, especially next season. I think Amorim is going to clock it very quickly that, yeah, Rashford is not going to work. Bruno, unfortunately, is not going to work. And guys, outside of that, Rashford's form has been diabolical. New manager or not. Bruno's form has been diabolical. New manager or not. I know our fan base likes to gaslight people and say, well, these are our best players. They're just cooked.
No, they're
They're
not.
done. They're
Anyone who
done.
anyone who still thinks Bruno Fernandez is one of our best players is smoking big butch. You feel me? Smoking big butch. You feel me? Like, what are we talking about here? Listen, I agree with you, Brian. I think he's
Yeah.
done. I don't see a world where a player who is so careless with the ball, with the
So
management,
limited too, man. So
and
limited.
so limited as a footballer, it's like, come on. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I just don't see it. And honestly, I hope that we do play it back there. I saw another question that I want to answer. You feel me? Three at the
Yeah.
back. Are we ready? I absolutely think so. There's tons of players in our team that have played in a three at the back system. You feel me? The likes of Delict, the likes of Maguire, the likes of Xerxes, the likes of Hoyland. Who else? Who else am I missing?
I
Erickson.
think Ericsson will work. Ugarte, I mean, he played under Amorim.
Like, there's tons of players who have in our team who have played in a back three. Our fullbacks will find it so easy. Our fullbacks will find it, like, in terms of the role, they will find it very easy. And we have proper fullbacks. You know what I'm saying? So I think the likes of Dallo and Mazraoui will see their output increase. You feel me? With a
Yeah.
manager like
I
this,
think I think you might see Amas start playing a lot more,
Mm,
actually. Because another thing with Amorim, he's not afraid to go into the youth system and be like, that's what I need, that's what I need, that's what I need. I'm gonna play these guys over the senior players.
mm,
Like, he's not afraid to do that. So don't be surprised if you see him go to the youth academy and pick some of the stars that have been performing really well there.
mm.
Because listen, Ineos are going to give this guy so much, like, chance to get it right because this is their first managerial appointment. I think he'll be able to make some really big and bold decisions. You know,
Mhm,
so I think don't be surprised if you see some eggs break. He's making
mhm.
an omelet, so hopefully it's gonna be delicious. So
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to it. I know people on Twitter are like, Brian, this is your guy.
No, I
People
saw
were
it.
we were
Uh,
tagging me like, oh, Brian has been calling this for a while. It's been a kind of a surreal. What will really tie the knot is if they go sign Konya. I would go insane
bro,
because they
that
have been doing everything I've wanted them to do.
well, I'm gonna have to start calling you Prophet Brian if that happens, man. I have to start calling you Prophet from now on because that would be crazy if we
Yeah,
got
that would be
Cunha.
mad.
Like, and I think Cunha is a thing that could happen in January. No, seriously, because they're so bad. Like
Wolves are
they
dying.
they're dying. Like they need one. They just need money. They probably just need money to recruit. I think Cunha will, if they can get 40 million in January, I think they do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're gonna
because he scored. I didn't even realize he scored the equalizing goal for them. I had missed their game because usually I watch it, but they played really early on Saturday or so, and he scored the equalizing goal for them, even though it was a deflection. But he makes that team like thick. Like without him, I really worry they could eventually get relegated from the Premier League. People don't realize he's the one holding that team together. Without
yeah.
him, they're done. They're
Mhm.
done.
Facts, facts.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
we're gonna do a starting 11 prediction for sure. We'll
yeah.
definitely do that just for fun. You know what I mean? Let's get in the comments. Yeah, Anthony for left wing back. That's hilarious. Looks like we will be targeting defenders next window. Left wing back, left center back. We need to target forwards. That's what we need to do.
Well, I think we'll do both. I think we'll
Yeah,
do both.
I think we need to target front forward players. I think honestly, I think at center back we're not as bad. Like I think I think we have decent center backs. You feel me? I don't think that's the
Yeah,
main.
yeah. Well, we
Your
need maybe one or two more for me.
in
You
comparison to
know.
like what we do up top, our forwards are diabolical. Like I'm sorry, in comparison to our bro, we have our forwards are not good enough, bro. I'm
No,
sorry, like
listen. I think what is killing our forwards is a combination of maybe don't having that really like high level talent and not being experienced. So we kind
mhm,
of have the worst combination. Well, I
yeah,
think when Hoyland is 27, when Garnacho is 27, 25, you see better players. But Hoyland is what 22, Garnacho is what 20, 21. They're really young and they make bad decisions a lot, especially Garnacho. He makes so many bad decisions. If he even if he didn't have the talent, if he just made his decision making better, he'd be a far better player. But
mm,
not having that experience, not having that coach really to have got him to this is how you need to play. I think the young players will really benefit from Amorim, but I think forwards we need. I think forwards we need, but we need defenders. But we need everything, man.
I
We
mean,
need everything.
we do need everything. Absolutely, we need everything. But no, let's answer some more questions. Anthony's gonna be unlocked at left wing back.
Anthony's gone, man. He's gone in January.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
gone. He's gone.
Anthony's
He's not gonna work with Amorim. His attitude stinks.
strikers. Garnacho needs to hug the bench. Yeah, Garnacho, man. I don't even want to rewatch those highlights. I'm not watching any of that content from last weekend. I'm not gonna do it. If I accidentally see something cool, but I'm not going to like force myself to watch that. Why? It's the era is over. Garnacho's lucky he's young because he would be getting ripped to shreds if he was 25 dropping it. Oh, absolutely. He's yeah. Oh yeah, where was the question? Amorim or Chabi Alonso? Where did I see that? Let me pull that one back up.
It's tough. That
Yeah,
is really hard. But
seen
I
more.
think
Sorry, I've seen
anytime I
more.
was asked, I went with Amorim. Even though I wanted us to at least try for Xabi Alonso. Um, it's really tough. I still think Xabi Alonso will be a fantastic manager, but he's probably gonna go to Real Madrid. So Amorim was always gonna be my number one choice. I think both are really good. Both are really good guys. Like I think people have Alonso here because he went undefeated, but what Amorim has done is also exceptional. Exceptional.
Yeah, no. I've watched a ton more of Chabi Alonso. Um, and there was a lot of elements of their record last season. They had so many wins in the 90th minute, like it was insane. You know what I mean? Like, is that sustainable? But he's definitely a
He
very good
sounds like
coach.
a Real Madrid coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, it definitely gives Real Madrid vibes. Like I remember watching the final against Atalanta, the Europa League final, and I thought he was outclassed by
He was.
I thought he was outclassed by I always forget his name. Starts with a G. I was
Gasperini? Was he
Gasparini.
Gasperini? Yeah.
Gasparini. Yep. He got tactically completely outclassed. You feel
I was
me?
surprised by that game. I
Yeah,
thought
I was stunned.
Leverkusen would win.
I
Yeah.
was stunned. So that was like that's interesting. You know what I mean?
But it's a cup.
Yeah, it's a cup, right? I haven't seen enough of Amorim to be like, oh, I would take Amorim over Xabi Alonso. You feel me? But you know, you think Lindelof survives because Amorim's played with him? Listen, I like Victor Lindelof. I'm the one person I'm the one person in the fan base that doesn't dislike Victor Lindelof, man. I'm the only one.
Come on, really? You like Lindelof?
I do, bro. I do. I think he's a good.
Oh no,
I think he's a
I
good
don't
player.
like Lindelof. He's
I
just
know
too
people
soft
don't
for
like
me.
him. I know people don't like him. I think before, like, I think he's been. This is a hot take. I think post SAF, he's probably been our most consistent center back. Like, if you look at the totality of the time he's been at Man United, the time he's
No,
been at Man United,
Lindelof.
yes, like he's been our best center back multiple years, multiple years, multiple years. I'm telling you right now for a fact. The season before Ollie got Jose Mourinho's final season, Ollie's the whole time Ollie, I was saying he's better than Harry Maguire. So all of
Uh,
Ollie's seasons, and then Varane came in and then Varane took over. But like Varane didn't play enough. You feel me? When Varane and Lindelof played together, they look good together. People. I just think because we became so bad, like, and we needed scapegoats, he became one of the scapegoats. He is a little soft. I agree
you
with
know what
that.
it is? He's just not a Manchester United level center back. He would be better in like in a
I
club
always,
that played in just a different league.
I
He's
always
not dominant. That's
I
what we
always
need.
I always said I think he's a great third center back, third or fourth center back. That's how that's what I don't think. I agree. I don't think he's a starting level player week in week out, but I think I think off the bench, I think off the bench he would be. We're just fine. We're just fine.
He's like those Kivior types center backs where
No,
they're
better than
good.
he's better than Kid, bro. Don't do that, bro. He's better than Kid.
But he's like the third, fourth center back for Arsenal, where they have two really good center back pairings,
That's what
which
I'm
is what
saying.
I think we need.
That's what I'm saying. I
That's how
agree.
I see him. That's how I see him.
Euro, we get Euro, Delict, Leisha, Branthwaite, Lindelof.
I think no, I think Lindelof is gonna go. I think
Yeah,
Lindelof is gonna go. I
I, I,
think
I agree. I agree.
that young kid in the academy, and he hasn't featured. I don't remember his name. I don't know. Maybe you saw him on social media. The 15-year-old that's like 6'5".
I've heard
I
about
haven't
seen
I
him.
haven't seen him play, but if that guy can develop his game, man, that's a £100 million player right there. People are gonna be like, "Well, it's because of his 6'5" at 15." Yeah, man. Physical attributes. If he has
That's crazy.
pace,
Six
that's
five at 15
crazy.
playing center back is insane.
You know.
Shout out Venetia.
So
Shout out Venetia. It has been a glorious day. That's why I'm celebrating properly. You feel me? I had to come dressed for the party. You feel me? I had to come dressed for the party. Do you see Casemiro starting over Ugarte because he has been performing at a higher level? I bet they play together.
they
I'm
probably
a
play
bet
together. Yeah.
he plays both of them in there together. Alonso won't come. Xabi has died. Xabi Alonso is gonna look like crazy with that Madrid squad. Um, he screams Fulham. In a back three, we can cover for his lack of dominance. Screams started by yeah, he plays left back as well.
Yeah.
Kukoni.
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 Yeah.
Oh, is this a so
He's
he's
a
an
kid. Yeah. Yeah.
oh
He's in the United Academy. 15, 6'5". Listen, that's what United need to do. We haven't produced a good center back in decades, guys.
yeah.
So I'm hoping we produce one because your Barca team, you were right there. They're doing their thing. They bopped Madrid for 4 goals.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that?
So I watched it. It was
Oh,
insane.
bro, I was
Yeah.
listen. Hansi Flick. Oh my goodness! Like it's actually insane what he's doing. Like people are just.
Yeah.
I don't think people are understanding. This is one of the greatest coaching jobs I've seen in a long time from
With
him.
a lot of academy players. A lot of
Academy
academy
players.
players.
Fermin Lopez, Casado, Kubarsi, Balde. These are kids. These are kids. And he's wiping the floor with that Madrid team, the Galacticos Madrid team. Literally,
That's crazy, man.
all of them are Galacticos, and he made
What do you think about that Madrid midfield though? Of
uh,
what do you think? What's going on there? Because Tchouaméni was supposed to be this huge guy. Camavinga has not really. I don't think they've hit the heights that they
I
were
don't think
supposed to hit.
so. I think here's the thing, right? I think that those players are good players, but there's not a creative. They need to start playing Arda because they don't have a creative midfielder in that ilk who can like pick passes, stuff like that. They don't have that.
Yeah,
Bellingham, good player. They're all good players. They're all very good players.
yeah,
But
of course, yeah.
Bellingham is a very different kind of pro. Like Bellingham is like Scott McTominay on steroids. That's what he is. Like he's literally No, I'm being like seriously. He's like if Scott McTominay is a regular Saiyan.
No, no, come on.
No, listen, seriously, hear me out. If Scott McTominay is like a regular Saiyan, Jude Bellingham is like Super Saiyan, like God mode. You feel me? Like that. That's what he is. You feel me? Like rugged player, likes to run around, win tackles. Third man runs into the box. You feel me? Obviously, I'm. It's tongue in cheek, but
Yeah, I
like
get what you mean.
you know what I mean? Chouameni is definitely much more of a. He's kind of like a way better version of Ugarte.
But they're gonna sell him. They're gonna sell him. He's low-key
Yeah,
flopped. He's low-key flopped, and people aren't talking about it. But he's low-key flopped, and I don't. Madrid are not gonna tolerate that.
he's just not what he's just not £100 million player. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of players that are better than him. You know what I mean? Of his ilk, right? That play in similar positions. Like, he's gonna get. I still like him as a player. I think he's a very functional player. He plays a center back, right? He can play DM. I think what they thought they were gonna get from him was this box to box.
I think thought they were gonna get it like a more disciplined Paul Pogba.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
didn't happen.
I think they thought, and he's nowhere near Pogba's level. Obviously, you know what I mean. So, and then you have Valverde, who's more of like a, Valverde is more of a.
He plays with Ugarte regularly in that Uruguay midfield, and guys, Ugarte looks a far better player. I like Valverde, like he scores some insane goals, but when I see him playing his national team, he looks awful. Looks bad.
Valverde is better than Ugarte.
Dude, listen. Here's how I rank you as a player. He's supposed to be so good, but he's not taking a claim to Madrid's central midfield. They don't play him there.
I mean, no, yeah, they
don't play him there.
No, I think I agree. Like, they just have better midfield players. I mean, they have Camavinga.
No, but like he's now good. They've lost Cruz. Modric is aging, and they still don't go play this guy in central midfield. He's awful. Yeah. Who would I compare him to? He's an energizer bunny that scores the bangers every now and then. He's you remember that Manchester United player? What's his name? That used to score bangers from midfield. Was he Irish? What is his name? He used to see for Man United. He had a short stint at United, but he had a good shot on him. But Valverde is not very good, guys. I'm sorry, but he's really overhyped. He's like Fred that can shoot. He's not good.
No, come on, bro.
Dude, he's not good. He's not good.
Player, bro. Come on, don't do
You know what it is? It's Madrid hype. It's Madrid hype. And we fell for Madrid hype with Casemiro. Guys, he is not good. Madrid do this thing very well. They've already started doing it with Tchouameni, where they're like, oh, we want to sell Tchouameni. And people are going to see the Madrid hype and be like, let's go buy Tchouameni. He's a dud. Do not touch him. Do not touch him. Manchester United, it's going to happen this summer.
Listen, the season is still young. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys.
We'll see, man.
These guys have been winning. Mind you, these guys have been winning Champions League.
Cruz, Modric, Benzema has been winning them Champions League. Players like that. The people like Camavinga, I rate Camavinga, but guys, this guy, they compared him to Paul Pogba. He's not gotten anywhere close.
No, he's not. They're not on that level, but they're also, listen, Camavinga's 20. Pogba at 20 was obviously just a different animal. Like, I don't think it's fair to compare people to one of the greatest central midfield talents we've ever seen. Like,
what it is.
I mean, like, they're doing, like, listen, I'm not saying they're world-class players. I don't think Camavinga's a world-class player. I don't think Tchouameni's a world-class player. I don't think Valverde's a world-class player. But I think they're very good players. I do. I just think that I think the issue is up top. Did you see how many times Mbappe was offside?
We will have a conversation about Mbappe. I'm giving him this season. We'll have a conversation, man.
No, he has been horrible. Let's just say it right now. To start this season, he has been abjectly poor. Like, come on, let's be real. How many times did he was offside like literally 6 times or something crazy?
I don't think they needed him.
No.
That's the problem. I don't think they needed him. You had Vinicius who was doing insane things. And sorry guys, I think Vinicius should have won the Ballon d'Or, not Rodri. That's just
I
my
thought, I
opinion.
thought, I thought Rodri should have won. I
I'm
hate
sorry.
saying
I
it,
just,
I
I
hate saying
listen.
it, but I hate
I
saying
don't
it. And
know.
Rodri should have won it. He should have won it. Come on.
I don't know. Vinny was my pick, but he came second, and I think he'll probably win it this year
What did
anyway.
he do for his country?
Yeah,
Nothing.
but like Brazil are shit, man.
That
And
matters.
I never thought I'll say that in my lifetime. But Brazil are shit.
Neymar's Brazil was shit, and he did stuff for Brazil. They were. Look, come on, let's be real.
Yeah. But Neymar is a different level. Neymar
And
is the last
but that's why
true
Neymar.
like.
That's why Neymar is a Ballon d'Or. You know, that's why he did what he did. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
Rodri is the central figure for the two best teams domestic. He's the best. He's the central figure for the best domestic team, and he's the central figure for the best international team.
But he wasn't good for Spain. He wasn't really that good for Spain in the Euros. Rodri.
What?
He was okay.
Come on.
Okay. Not as good as he was for Manchester City.
Come on, he was
like I've seen he was okay, but I'm just saying like his level for Man City is like here for Spain was a little bit lower, but that's fine. He's played a lot of games. But let me get back to Manchester United, guys. We love football, so we can talk about different things so often.
Yeah,
let's build a team. Like what would a 3-4-3 for United look like?
Let's do that real quick. Yep, absolutely. We'll go to let's do that real quick. Let's pull up the 3-4-3. Yeah, guys, we're gonna build up this lineup. You feel me? Everyone will have 500 people in the building, bro. We have 500 people in the building, guys.
That's crazy.
Make sure to smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. This is a Ten Hag celebration. Ten Hag out celebration. You feel me? Ruben Amorim.
Sorry, I was gonna say I've sent that last comment. Can you highlight it?
Which one was that? Oh, Muppet.
Yeah, Moptier made one, but guys, we shouldn't be doing this. Well, I saw the team. We can't just shoehorn players in. Like we're shoehorning players in that I'm telling you, long term are not going to work. They had Bruno and Rashford as the two of the three forward.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Why would you do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would never do that. That's crazy.
Absolutely, that's gross. Obviously, Onana is going to be in goal. First central center back in the back three. What do you think? Who do you think is going to be? Let's say
everyone is fit. It's going to be Martinez. It's going to be Martinez.
Fascinating. You think he's going
to? For now. Next season is a different situation.
Okay. Left center back.
I think will be De Ligt.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go off the whole squad, injuries or no injuries, just to make it easier.
Okay. Right center back.
Is going to be Euro.
Okay. Lenny's in the bill. Okay, I like this so far. Look, first of all, I like this. Already off the gate. We have athleticism, we have passing, we have reading of the game. You feel me? Like this is a good base. If only Ten Hag had the brain power to think like, oh wait, I have 6 center backs in my squad. Maybe I should try something different. Like, I have 6 center backs in my squad.
He's just no. I'm tired of the Ten Hag. He's gone, man. He's out the building. Man.
Anyway, left wing back.
If everyone do a big call here, Harry Amas. Harry Amas.
I don't even know if he'll be in this.
Okay, yeah, he's in.
There we go. Okay, Amos. Okay, that's a big call. Call. Okay, why do you think it's Amos?
Because we want a natural left-sided player. I think Luke Shaw's injuries are going to be a huge problem. Unless we make a signing, it's just going to be Amas. And I don't think the whole club wants Ten Hag to play Amas. The whole club has been like, this guy is ready for promotion, and Ten Hag is like, nah. So I think it's going to be him that plays. He's going to give him a chance, guys. He has this season to figure out this team. So I think it's going to be him. And Luke Shaw will come in, and Malacia, if he ever plays again for United, will come in as well. But I don't think he's going to play a right-sider player on the left. If he does, maybe Dalot. But I don't think we're gonna see that.
Okay. Left center mid.
Ugarte.
Mm, okay. Okay. And you think the right center mid will be Casemiro or Kobe?
It could be Paul, it could be Kobe Manu.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yep. Yep. Okay. And then right back, that's come on.
Even though people are don't like Dallo right now, it's gonna be Diogo Dallo, guys. It's gonna be
Gosh,
him.
listen, he's still our best fullback. Let's not get it twisted. He's still our best fullback. You know,
This is interesting.
this is gonna be interesting because
Hmm.
I think there's a world where he plays Xerxes and Hoyland and maybe Ahmad in behind. I think there's a world where that happens. But I also think there's a world where he plays inside forwards like Garnacho.
I think
Um,
he's gonna go inside
I
for a
think
route.
I think Xerxes is gonna be in this lineup.
You think Xerxes is gonna start?
I do. I do. I do.
Interesting. I don't know,
You,
guys. I don't think so.
mm,
I don't think so. I
you
think
think it's
Hoyland
gonna
is
be,
gonna start.
you think it's gonna be Hoyland?
It's gonna be Hoyland. It's gonna Hoyland to play down the middle. The,
Okay.
the, and then the
Thing
right
is,
side, I can tell you right now, will be Ahmad. I don't even think that's
yeah,
up for debate.
yeah. Ahmad for sure. Ahmad for sure. Ahmad has a new lease of life. Oh my goodness. A new
Oh
lease
yes,
of life.
the one person that should be celebrating right now is Ahmad. Ahmad
Yeah,
should be. He will be like
gonna be so
he's gonna be a very happy, very happy.
yes. He's gonna get game time when he should be getting game time. Yeah, Hoyland
Now,
is like Gyökeres. I agree with this. That he's more of a similar profile. They're not the same profile, but they're
yeah,
up. They're closer. They're more closer in styles than a Xerxes and a
Dan
Gyökeres.
Xerxes. Yeah.
I
So
agree.
this
I
left
agree.
hand side now is where one of Ganacho, Bruno, or Rashford is gonna be chosen from, and
Okay.
Mount when he gets back. That for those four players are going to be chosen for one spot. That's the big thing. I know people are going to be like, why? But that's just the reality because we've signed all these players. Canacho wants to play down the left. Rashford has always played down the left. Mounts was basically played this position for Chelsea. And Bruno doesn't, is a 10 really for the most of his career, even though he grew up playing as an 8, but now he's more of a 10. And he really has lost that ability to play as a central midfielder. He doesn't really know how to do it as much because he's not very disciplined. So he's not going to play those two positions. You're either going to see Menu Ugarte, central midfield, or Casemiro and Ericsson. That's it. You're not going to see Bruno in there. It's just not going to make any sense.
Mhm.
So left side, I think for now, probably be Marcus Rashford.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would actually agree with that. Um, and this isn't half bad. I'm not gonna lie. This is a good. This is a good start. This is a good base to start a team with. I think you
Mm.
have athleticism. You have people who are good on the ball like Dallo, Mainu, Ahmad, Martinez, Onana. The other center backs. You feel me? You have width with the fullbacks. You feel me? Like you mentioned earlier, with inside forward. So you know,
They're much
definitely,
closer together. Much
yeah,
closer together.
definitely a bit more tucked in like this. You feel me? So you get Amos, doing this. You feel me? You get Diogo Dallo doing that. You feel me? And they
And
don't
when that happens, that's
mm-hmm.
where United fans get confused and be like, "Oh my God, he's overloading the front three or the forward lines, and he's leaving his midfield exposed." Guys, he has three
Center
defenders in the back, and
exactly.
he has two sitting in midfield.
Yeah,
He's not overloading the team like Ten Hag. It's
yeah.
completely different.
People are saying Bruno's going to sneak into the lineup, but where though, people? Where is he going to sneak in? Where is he going to sneak in?
Like I said, the only place is that left-sided spot because he's not going to play right side. He's going to play left side.
The number 10
That's really the only place.
the number 10 position is being abolished. So,
Yeah, it's gone.
you know what I mean? So, where is he going to play? At that point, Bruno's a luxury player. You bring
Yeah,
on Bruno, to maybe get a goal because that's what, I guess that's what he's known for or whatever the case may be.
yeah.
Do something like that, but as a player in this system, it does not work. You
Yeah.
feel me? It
And
will.
guys, just tactically, the reason why you won't see a number 10 with Amorim is because he likes positional change and flexibility. The number 10 usually doesn't like players getting into his zone. That's what number tens. If you go back, you watch players like Dennis Bergkamp, Kaká. They dominate that zone. That's their space. If you come into that zone, you're condensing their space. You're making their life more difficult. And Bruno, that's what Bruno Fernandes does as well. But Amorim wants his two wide forwards to come into that space. So unless Bruno plays as one of the wide forwards, he's not going to play.
Yeah,
That's just the
no,
reality.
I agree. And people, yeah, like again, why do people think he won't drop the captain? Harry Maguire got dropped as captain. You feel
Yeah,
me? Like Cristiano Ronaldo got dropped. Like this is not some like this is not a Man United legend by any means. You feel me? Like
yeah. I
extra
think next season we could see a new captain, even if
yeah,
I'm being honest with you.
like he can hold smoke. He can hold bench. I promise you. Any there's no manager who's watching film. How can you watch film like and think like, oh yeah, this guy needs to be starting week in week out? Like I don't know. I don't know how you watch film and see him give the ball away like that and think, yeah, he needs to be starting. Like,
I don't know. It was Ten Hag's weird way of showing loyalty to a player, which didn't make any sense. It's just weird thing with Ten Hag. I don't understand it. But listen, I don't think Bruno is a long term thing. They didn't he didn't like he signed a contract financially, but they didn't give him the years.
mhm,
I think someone is gonna. I think United, if United can sell him, they're gonna get money for him, and they'll take that deal. If United can sell Rashford right now, they'll take that deal. Remember, Ineos already briefed and said the four or three players they would never sell is Hoyland, Menu, Ganacho. I think those were the three.
mm,
Everyone else is for sale. So Bruno and Rashford are not untouchable. They're very much players that can be getting rid of, especially if the coach is like they don't fit what I want to do. So
mhm,
Amorim needs forward players. Think about your players like your Trossards. Think about Jotas. Think about someone like Cunha. Those are the kind of players he wants in his forward line position that are very nifty, very good on the ball, very good on the turn, who can play in tight spaces. Think about Bernardo Silva. Think about David Silva. Okay, this is like we're going really high echelon, but those are the kind of players he wants in those spaces. So
yeah,
I don't think you're going to see Bruno and Rashford.
that's one of Bruno's weaknesses. His
Yeah.
ability to make the right decisions in tight spaces. Like
Yes.
he's not good under pressure. Like so this is just like this is an immediate red
It's a bad. Listen, when Ten Hag was coming in, I literally tweeted out. People were saying, "No, Ten Hag is going to sell Bruno." I was like, "No, Ten Hag is going to love Bruno Fernandes, right?" And I'll post a tweet tomorrow so you guys can see because I knew he was going to play him,
flag.
but Ten Hag is Amorim is not going to love Bruno. I can tell you right now, he's not going to love Bruno. He's just not. The personality and Amorim and Bruno is going to clash. Not that you're going to hear anything dramatic or anything like that, but just the personality wise and on pitch what he wants, it's not going to work.
Mhm,
So I don't think Bruno has a long term career at United anymore. At
mhm.
least this is the first time where I'm very confident that he's going to be gone.
Yeah, no. This is interesting, man. And some people thinking maybe, I don't know, we can remove Rashford. Okay, let's say it is Bruno. It's like I feel like it's a waste of space. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a waste, like there's no pace anymore. Like you don't have that pace you need next to like a Hoyland. You know what I mean? It's just he's not an inside forward. Maybe he plays here. Maybe he thinks, oh, maybe
Eh,
play there. I don't think it's
You see, this is what I see. You're starting to shoehorn in.
players. I know.
It's not going to work.
Gonna work. You shoehorning players in is always the worst decision. Even if it's Garnacho, this is better than Bruno. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
Even if it's Garnacho, you feel me?
yeah.
Like this is still a better option. Like I don't mind that. I don't mind that. You feel me? Um, who's gonna take the armband? When we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, man. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not as
I
long.
think, I think, I think, like if Bruno isn't playing right now, it's probably gonna be delayed on Onana who get the
Yeah,
armband.
yeah. He might
Oh,
try.
yeah.
I think he'll drop him if he doesn't fit his style, or he could play with two strikers and
See,
Bruno is one of them.
he's not. I'll tell you right now, he's not going to change his system for Bruno Fernandes, meaning
Mhm.
he's not going to play two strikers. He's going to play 3-4-3. And guys, Bruno ain't gonna. It's not gonna work. Like I can tell Amorim right now. I'm sorry, G. I'll give you maybe 2, 3, 4 matches to try it, but it's not gonna work, and he's gonna clock it really fast. So,
Mhm.
guys, this is one of the reasons why I wanted Ruben Amorim because I knew it would be the end of Bruno Fernandes. We're free, and another pair of shackles is falling off. Like we're double free. So, yeah,
Brian, do you think Kudus is ideal? I like Kudus.
I would love Kudus. I
Yeah,
would love Kudus. Yeah,
great on
he'd be great.
either flank of an inside forward. I think he'd be really good.
That'd be smart money. Imagine Kudus and Cunha as the inside forwards for our team, bro.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. I want Onana as captain. He speaks well. I do not want Onana as captain. He are like I don't want to. I don't want to get like he's just now starting to get some consistency. I don't want to overwhelm him with the weight of the captain's armband. That just would. I could see that one crashing and burning quick. You feel me?
He-
The one thing you can't do is get the captain wrong.
Wrong.
And
Hmm.
you can give it to somebody who's not really, a top player or like, you know what I mean? Like if you gave it to like Erickson, you feel me? Like safe. You know what I mean? Like that, like Erickson will never be a bad player where he's costing the team just like you know what I mean? But Onana could start making mistakes. Oh man, that would
Who
be
do you think? Who do you think realistically though would be the best make most sense for us to make our new captain? Because I don't really think Bruno has worked.
probably,
We've had our worst time ever,
yeah,
and Bruno has been
probably
our captain. I think we need to move on from that.
either Delict, Martinez, or Dallo. You feel me? I think those would be my because they're the ones who they play. Obviously, they get the most out of the starters. Like they get the most playing time. I think Delict has shown he's captain material. I think Martinez has leadership abilities, and I think he'd actually play up to the level because he has the cap. I think he's the type of player to like try and play up to the captain's armband. And then
Yeah,
Dallo, I just think is our most consistent player, and he wouldn't. He obviously had a bad couple weeks. I'm not. He's had a bad couple weeks. I admit that, but like I don't think he would. Again, it's a safe pick. It's a safe pick.
safe pick.
He's been at the club for a while. He has experience. He at international level and domestic level. He's won things for the club at this point. You know what I'm saying? And again, like he's one of our better players. So I think that would be good. Onana is a politician. Yeah, Onana. I just worry. Listen, the Bozo gene is still there. I know.
He has the position. Yeah.
Bozo, like I don't want anyone to be my captain and you have the Bozo gene. I'm sorry. Like I don't
I,
want
I like captains that like, hey, they can do things no other person in the team can do,
Mhm.
and they lead the team, right? I that's the kind of captain I want. That's attitude, but they also maintain respect. And for me, we might need to sign someone that has those things to make the captain. Outside of everybody, I'm like, okay, delete might make sense. Euro is maybe too young to make him captain. I don't really want to make Martinez captain either. So it's like Dalot makes the most sense because of his consistency, but I might want someone else. I just that's going to lead this team forward into the next era for Amorim. I would want another player that's just like not part of the funk, not part of the nonsense, but they tick all the boxes. So we might have to sign someone to replace this Bruno that becomes the captain.
Yeah, no Martinez, a 5'8" man can't be captain. That is not true, man. Have you ever heard of a man called Fabio Cannavaro? Have you ever
Yeah,
heard of a
but
man called Lionel Messi? Like, what does height have to do with anything? Like Lionel Messi was 5 foot what 6 or something like that, something or 5'7", something crazy like that. But yeah, height
yeah.
has nothing to do with it. Time for Rashford to step up if he's part of this. Time for
No,
Rasheed.
you're going to see Rashford wake up a bit because I think Tuchel is going to want to have him part of the England squad, and you're going to see him try and play for that, and also try and impress the manager. So a lot of people, I don't want to call it because I get superstitious, but I think we'll see a new manager bounce, guys. I think we'll see a new manager bounce. I don't know where we'll end up finishing. Maybe top eight, probably top eight. I would say maybe if we can get sixth or fifth would be great, but top four might be just beyond reach. But I think we'll see a new manager bounce, and you're going to see a lot of really determined players because Ten Hag has made them look like idiots. A lot of them. He's made a lot of them look very foolish. So I think they're going to want to try and correct that. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We still have over 50 people watching on YouTube, over 500 people on Twitter. Guys, it's been a fun stream, man. It's been a fun stream. Drop some questions if you still have some questions, and we'll answer as many as possible. But this is just a fun. This is just a very fun day. It's been a good day, man. Like I just
It's
think
been a
that
good day.
Ineos were under a lot of pressure. I don't think they could have gotten away with not sacking the manager after being 14th, and also not winning any games in the Europa League.
Do you
Uh,
think they've been working on this for a while? Do you think this is just something that
I,
just
I,
happened?
I really do, bro. I said this too. I've said you can go back. I checked Staffy streams, Saeed streams. I said it in kind of hope, like my hope, and I have to believe that they have a plan and that they're working on something. Because
Mm.
like I said that their plan was to they didn't have the ability to get the manager they wanted, and they were going to keep Ten Hag until they could find the manager that they wanted. So maybe they tried to get Amorim and it wasn't working out, or initially, or whatever the case may be, and they made an adjustment, man. They made an adjustment. So I have to think this was the plan because the Amorim reports came out so fast. Like this wasn't
It
like
was like that, and they sacked Ten Hag like this,
exact
like he was
it's like
gone.
they got rid of Ten Hag, and then a couple hours later they're talking about Amorim. So you can't tell me this hasn't been in the works. Like this,
It's
like
been
I
the
like
works.
it's been in the works. And listen, we've suffered. Obviously, it feels like we've wasted a couple months of a season. But I always said they thought this season was a wash. This season was
Yeah,
about bringing in players, bringing in good players that could translate to any system. Look at the players we brought in. We brought in Delict, Mazraoui,
Euro,
Rolo.
Ugarte.
These guys can play in multiple systems under multiple managers. So yeah, no, this is good, man.
Yeah, the summer for me, that's the one thing I won't agree with. Where people are like, we wasted the summer and signed players that maybe we shouldn't have signed. No, I think everyone we signed for the most part, maybe I signed a different fullback, but I don't have any problem with Mazraoui. Would have been players that Amorim would have been okay with. Someone like Ugarte, someone like Yoro. These are players that they profile match players he's worked with in the past. So I don't think it's going to be an issue for him going forward. The biggest issue Amorim will have is the supposedly best players in our team. Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. How he manages that is really going to dictate his career at Manchester United. If he
Facts.
continues persisting with shoehorning two players in that team that do not work with the rest of his team, let me explain. Like, Ahmad is a creative player who wants to interchange. He can play with Zexi. He can play with Hoyland. He can create with Hoyland. See that ball? You didn't watch the game, but he had this really good ball into the back post that was headed on. Like creatively, he's a good player. It was headed back in by Dalot, and United ended up equalizing against West Ham for it. So we need to use Ahmad more. In midfield, we have, I think Mainu and Ugarte would dovetail and work very well because Ugarte, I don't think people keep saying, oh, we need to get him back to form. We need to get him back to his Sporting Lisbon form, not even his PSG form. And
Facts.
that takes coaching. And I think Amorim will be able to do that. You go into defense, we already have long-term plans that we're looking at Brightwaite, who, can play left side or right side. You can see where Ineos are thinking. That makes sense long term. Left side of the left wing back role. Oh, man, they're saying we want to get Davis. I would be over the moon. Like if we get Davis and we play him as a left wing back, like that is
That would be crazy.
insane.
And
That would be mad,
I think he's in the last year of his contract. That's why it's a real
bro.
possibility.
That
So
would be listen.
that would
I'm
be
a,
crazy.
that would be mad. That would be
Those
crazy.
babies. Oh my goodness, he would tear Old Trafford. He would be an immediate fan favorite because he is
Bro.
the definition of athleticism. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
I saw him rip Barcelona to shreds. Remember when he did that with that 8-2 or 6-2? I can't remember
Yeah.
that.
I've
Where,
seen him do that. I've seen him go head to head in a race with Mo Salah and outpace him. And
yeah,
like the dude is incredible. So if this would be the high level of profiling, this is when you do good recruitment. Now I know his wages are gonna be high and you have a high sign-on bonus. But remember, if we're signing him to play in a 3-4-3 and he's playing left wing back, that means he's playing in a core role in the team. He will be playing in a role that is so key. So for me, I wouldn't have a big deal with it. Now, if we're buying him to playing at left back, I'd be a little bit concerned because I don't think that's the best use for him, especially in the Premier League. But if you played him as a left wing back, are you crazy? This is like, guys, that's a great signing. So we in your, Brian Sweet. If you bring in Brian Sweet, you bring in Davis. Again, profile wise, it makes a lot of sense. You're playing three at the back. Brian Sweet can play in any of those positions, easy. So I wouldn't be complaining with the recruitment going forward. At least it shows me that they're thinking. And in Guarte, maybe Guarte has been a long term thoughts that they knew they were getting Amorim. Who knows? We'll never know unless someone leaks something. So
Facts.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Ineos have done a good job of keeping things under wraps because it's very impressive that there's been reports that they were talking to Amorim for a couple of weeks and none of us knew anything.
Oh yeah, shit, that was silent as hell, man.
Like they are like they if there's one thing we can say, they have their media team buttoned up in a way that we've never seen before at Manchester United because they have done so many things under the table that we don't even know about. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, how did this happen? Like, it's actually crazy. They got rid of this manager. Obviously, that was a must. I mean, that had to happen. But then
Yeah.
to me, I'm in my head, I'm
There
thinking
was no rumors, no speculation.
nothing. No rumors, no speculation. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna make some TikToks on, these are the managers we should be looking at. I didn't even have a chance to do that. Like, I didn't even have a chance to do that because the Amorim thing, it looks like it's really David Ornstein. Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, David Ornstein is not tweeting, like he is not a Fabrizio Romano where he just tweets everything every second. Like, that is not his steez. Like, he only tweets when things are legit.
Yeah.
So trust and believe at a minimum. I think they said there was an agreement reached. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think what
Yeah, they say United are open to playing the release clause, and that right there is the kicker because Sporting Lisbon can't do anything.
yeah,
He has a release clause. It's one thing if we had to negotiate with Sporting, but we don't have to do that. He has a release clause, so we'll pay it, we get him in, and I think that's the right thing to do because listen, if we already know what will happen, if Van Nistelrooy goes beats Chelsea, we're gonna get Rude at the wheel, and that would become a whole new issue. So let's not even. I don't even want that. I love Ruud van Nistelrooy. That's actually his jersey back there. I don't think he should be Manchester United's full-time manager.
no,
Even as much as I love him.
absolutely not. We're not making that mistake twice. With all due respect, the words David Ornstein used this verbatim. He said, "MUFC ready to pay 10 million euro release clause," meaning, and I interpret that as they're trying to do this.
They've contacted the bank guys. They've said release the funds, wire the money. It's done.
It's done. So in a couple of days, I'm expecting us to be doing a Ruben Amorim celebration. I will bring a different Abada that day. We'll do the same thing and we'll celebrate. You know what I mean? This is going to be a good week. Finally, we have been freed from the chains of poor, terrible football.
People
minimum.
People are going to be like watching like me this whole season because I wanted Amorim so bad. Like I'm against all the tacticals. All the tacticals are like they want Hones, they want the Gilsman, and I'm like the only one that's like I want Ruben Amorim. Even though I'm not a tactical, guys. I mean, I have a decent sized page on Twitter. I'm not a tactical, but I feel really good about this. Just on a personal fan level, I really like him, and I urge you guys to go watch his press conferences. Just listen to him talk. Like you don't even don't take my word for it. Just watch tactics videos on YouTube. Read about him, journalists, all that stuff. Do your own research. You don't need to listen to my opinion about what I think about Amorim. It's just my own personal thoughts. I like him. This is the first Manchester United manager that I actually like on more than a football level. I really I like him because he's a good, decent human being, and the way he communicates is the kind of person that I actually want to relate with on a personal level. So that for me is a good thing because Sir Alex Ferguson was like that. Like you would want to be in a room with Sir Alex because he's just a fantastic human being, you know. So I don't think we've had that. Even though Van Gaal, do you want to sit in a room with Van Gaal? Nah. Jose, I like Jose too. Jose is a cool guy.
I would want to sit with Jose, absolutely. Jose is Did you see his post-match press conference after our game?
He was playing the media like a fiddle.
Box office. Every single. He is the most box office manager I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like you can't miss a press conference. You can't miss it because he just every time it's just like so funny, bro. Listen, I'm so glad we got rid of him, but when he's not my manager, I love him. Like when he's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
even the fact that he got kicked out, I'm like, this is just so tip. Like this is just so like,
He's just so over the top, but also like really intelligent too.
no, he's a
Yeah.
smart guy. He's a smart guy. Listen, he's not the same manager he was, but man, yeah,
I want him back in the Premier League. I really do.
yeah,
I want him back in the Premier League.
go manage like I don't know, Bournemouth, Everton.
West Ham, man. West Ham.
Yeah, no,
West
that'd
Ham would be great. I think Jose at West Ham right now would be get that dude out from West Ham. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Give Jose a contract. He even said it himself that he would love to manage a team that wasn't in Europe, that was lower downs in the Premier League. I think he would be very happy there.
yeah,
But no, Amorim, he's not. How will I put it? Um, how would I describe Amorim? Because people like him to Jose because he's Portuguese and all that kind of stuff. He's like if Jose is like the evil bad guy, Amorim would be his protagonist in a
If I
movie.
say if Mourinho is Venom, Amorim is Spider Man.
Yeah, that's fantastic. There we go. That's how I would say it.
Yep,
That makes a lot of sense.
yep,
You
yep.
know? So, but Amorim is charismatic. You're not gonna. This is probably gonna be the first manager I watch his press conferences.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust.
Like,
I haven't watched a Manchester United manager press conference in over a year. Like I
jeez.
haven't. I literally have not. It's just I
Yeah.
can't do it. I can't do it, bro. It's been so bad. Like every time I listen to him speak, it's even better because I will probably be. I criticize him heavily, and half the time I don't even know what he said after the match. So I can only imagine
Oh, it's horrible.
when he's gaslighting. I would probably have done some things on internet I probably shouldn't have done. So it's better that I didn't do that and watch his press conferences. Honestly,
He's so awkward and like he just doesn't have the charisma of a Manchester United manager.
no.
And playing the media is part of the job. Handling the media is part of the job because listen, whether you like it or not, you're dealing with human beings. So being how you relate, like Ateta, for all the criticisms he has, he knows how to speak in the media. He just does, and that's a skill. And I think Ateta at first was maybe too antagonistic, but he's learned how to deal with them. That's what Man United need. We don't need a manager that's always making headlines for dumb quotes.
Yeah.
Like dumb quotes. Oh, forget the Tottenham game. Tottenham didn't happen because we had a red card. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, dude, we suffered, man. We suffered. Jesus Christ! Talk about the banter era with this guy.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years. And I'm so excited to start talking tactics. I'm so excited to start talking about, oh, what did we do in this game differently than the game before?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to talk about things that are actually football related. Even if we lose, because we're gonna lose games still. We're
Oh, of
gonna
course.
like, we're gonna have rough patches. Like, I'm not expecting perfection, but I'm expecting a baseline of just structure again. Like, we just have a baseline of structure, and then
Yeah.
we figure out the things as we go on, And
You know what? Go ahead. Good.
no, yeah, I was saying I'm okay with that. I think that we've just been so bad. There's just no way that a new manager is not going to come in and at a minimum get the players back on side, because obviously he lost the players. He clearly ETH lost the players. I think this manager will get the players back on side, and there will be a new hunger in the players to prove to this new manager that they deserve their spot. So
Do you think Van Nistelrooy stays as part of the coaching staff, or do you think he's gonna go?
that's a great question. I imagine he would stay till the end of the year, and then probably next season he'll move on. That's my guess.
I think that's fine. I think he it'd be funny if he went to go coach Ajax or something.
Right, exactly right. I do think, Van Nistelrooy has bigger aspirations, so I think he'll end up maybe taking a job at some point. But I don't think Amorim. I think Amorim wants to bring in his people. I would assume.
Yeah.
So that will eventually happen. You know what I mean? It's going to be a clear out. And listen, people have been getting cleared out. Listen, Ineos have been getting rid of people. behind the scenes. So don't think that they're not going to be willing to get Amorim's people in to make him as comfortable as possible. They brought Ruud van Nistelrooy in on purpose to have a safe gap for Eric Ten Hag. Like Eric Ten Hag didn't want Ruud van Nistelrooy. He didn't ask for Ruud van Nistelrooy. They just put him there. You feel me? Like as a hey, listen, this is what you're doing. So I think Ruud will get job offer like the 100%. RVN is older than Amorim. LOL, he's leaving. Yeah, I agree.
He's 38 years old. Do you know, guys? I don't even want to say this. Amorim is only 8 years older than me.
That's crazy.
It's not. That's crazy when I think about it.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
insane.
Dang, I'm 28. Like that's 10. Yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's a young man. He's a young man. That's why when Brighton beat us earlier this year and their manager what 31. I'm just looking at these are that guy's young enough to be your son, and he beats you well. Like it's crazy, man.
Some of the losses this season, man. Oh my god, how many?
West Ham, Brighton, Liverpool 3-0, Spurs 3-0, Porto 3-3. Who else have we lost to? Like we lost teams. Was it not Crystal? Yeah, we drew against Crystal Palace.
We could drew against Crystal Palace.
They hadn't won a game all. They were winless. A winless Crystal Palace.
But they just beat Tottenham though. Ange is a funny manager, man. How did I need to watch that game because how did they lose to Crystal Palace?
I've said this for a while. People are saying, "Oh, Ange this, Ange that." I don't see it, man. Only because he doesn't have a plan B. Any manager that doesn't have a plan B, I'm sorry. If you can't, if you only know one way to play football and you can't adjust just a little bit tactically here and there,
that's not a strength. That's not a strength.
I don't think playing one way is a strength. Like look at the reason Marcelo Bielsa never made it to the top levels. I think is because he had one way of playing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sorry, like Pep has multiple ways he plays. Carlo Ancelotti has played in multiple ways.
Carlo Ancelotti is like a Swiss Army knife, man.
Yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson played in multiple ways. Like they all did different things. You feel me? So I think that's Ange's issue. You know, I think that's to an extent that was Ten Hag's issue, right? They couldn't like Ten Hag once he stopped being pragmatic, he didn't know how to fix anything. He couldn't adjust. He couldn't make changes. You know what I'm saying? So,
he's very inadaptable. That means he works in a very specific environment, Ten Hag. And that's not what Manchester United mean. That's why I was not pro De Zerbi. People like that, they work in very specific environments. You don't want that at Manchester United. You need someone that is adaptable. So I wouldn't. For me, Amorim was the big right pick for us. I think he'll prove to be the right pick for us.
I agree with making it to the top. You need to know how to defend contact. 100%. I think people think that if you play progressive football, that you should somehow be open all the time. Like I don't agree with. Like, listen, there'll be moments in every game where some team is open. Like that happens. I'm talking about consistently. We were consistently an open team. Like if you can't be compact and learn how to defend properly, you will never be a top team. I could not agree more. Half. That is a great comment. Ange would keep attacking even if he's up 4-0. Yeah, it's crazy. Again, he's just one-track minded. And that's why it's so bad that we lost 3-0. It's like he only knows how to play one way, just counter. You know what I mean?
You know, before the game, Ten Hag was like, oh my God, it's going to be an open game. I'm like, you're playing a Big Six team and you're thinking it's going to be an open game. Why? Why would that be your thought process? You're playing a Big Six team. The game should never be open because it's not a good thing. They have players that can hurt you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this guy just said things, and I'm like, he's insane. He had CTE along the line. He hit his head climbing the stairs at Old Trafford. He slipped on the leaky roof water, and he hit his head, and then he just forgot what he was doing. That's probably what happened with Ten Hag. Like,
man, got a crowd when Bruno gets permanently picked now because guess what? He's Amorim. Hold that, Temi and Brian. Says who? Who said he's Amorim's guy?
No, he's not, guys. I can tell you right now, Bruno Fernandes and Amorim. Listen, I'm saying he's gonna try it. because he's the captain and he's just gonna try it. He's gonna play him. It's just not gonna work. I
And
know
he'll
he's gonna see it, and it's gonna be obvious because Bruno's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. He's just gonna stick out. And like Bruno Fernandes needs to go to, I don't know. He needs to go somewhere else that will best utilize his traits. Rashford is the same way. I feel the same way about Marcus Rashford. Guys, Rashford, go to another team that would best utilize you. Like right now, it's not the time. Bruno, you're 30. Like this is not the time to be playing at Manchester United. Man United, Bruno, Amorim, I think he's gonna see it. It's just not gonna work. And people still overrate Bruno Fernandes so much. Like, what are we doing here?
literally cheating. What do you mean it's cheating?
Because Bruno's supposed to be this super creative player that just
Please.
creates chances
Hey,
galore.
do me a favor. He is mid. Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, Bruno? Honestly, yeah, I agree. I agree, JJ. She should go to AC Milan, man. That they need it. They need
Yeah, Italian league, slower league.
Yeah, they need a number.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, AC Milan need a number. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that their tens might be better than Bruno. So listen, no, Bruno is. I don't want to.
You're exasperated by the
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I
Oh
absolutely.
man. Guys, Bruno, we played a very shitty West Ham team. And our fan base is so shameless.
How do you do in that game?
He created a number of chances in the first half, like some chances. But it's the kind of chances you would expect because West Ham are so open. If there was a team more open than us, it's West Ham in the league this season. And Bruno had space because their midfielders are slower than dirt. They can't move. Like, who are the midfielders? Like, they can't run. Guys, the fact we lost to that West Ham team, I know we created chances in the first half, was a disgrace. They're awful. They're not good, like, at all. Like,
They are
Bruno, guys, do you watch Chelsea, right? I don't want to even hype Chelsea because we're playing them this freaking weekend. They have players that operate in tight spaces. Do you see how tightly Cole Palmer is marked?
Facts.
Do you see that?
Facts.
You need to be able to take that pressure, carry the ball, and pass it, and accurately too. Bruno doesn't do that. He needs space. He needs time to hoof it in behind. Not even to someone's feet, just in space.
In space. He never plays it. He never plays, hardly ever plays ball to feet. Mid. Tell me which signing says Sir Alex has come in and lived up to the expectations. What expectations? He didn't have any. Like, he really didn't have any. Mind you, let's start. Paul Pogba at Manchester United was better than Bruno Fernandes. I don't care.
Zlatan was
better than Bruno Fernandes. Juan Mata, better than Bruno. I don't care what anybody says. Juan Mata was a way better footballer and played better for Manchester United than Bruno Fernandes did. Argue with your mom. Listen, like, I'm gonna be like, seriously.
No, guys. We almost Palmer at Anfield. Understand, like, listen, I don't want to hype Chelsea players, but I've watched Cole Palmer. I've watched him have good games. I've watched him have bad games. But Cole Palmer's good games are insane. Jesus Christ. It's frightening. Like, it is frightening. Are you
four goals in one half?
Bro.
Remember what he did to us last season?
Guys,
last season?
Yeah, he dunked on us. We shouldn't be doing this, bro.
Name me the Bruno Fernandes. Like, where are all these top performances and the top matches for Bruno?
You know what?
Is the FA Cup because of that assist. That's it. Yeah. Oh, I remember one time against Man City, he dinked the ball over to Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial scored that. Like,
yeah. Bruno is not as good as you guys think he is.
No,
like,
he's not a big game player. He's not even a big game player. Listen, even more, as much as I don't even like, as much as I criticize Marcus Rashford, there's one thing I cannot deny: his output in big games is very good,
and some really high level goals too. I won't forget that goal against Chelsea in not Chelsea, Chelsea in the cup where he banged that free kick and that Arsenal goal at the Emirates was insane. Like, he picked up the ball, went past. I think he knocked that Partey and banged it in. Like, listen, I'm not a Marcus Rashford fan, but like, you can point to things.
Liverpool again when he skinned Trent, and then he had the brace that day too. Did he not? Like,
Yeah, even his first game for Manchester United, he scored two goals.
he scored 2 goals. Listen,
Yeah,
as much as I criticize Marcus Rashford, I don't think he's good enough to be a starter. You feel me, for Manchester United? The man has an impeccable big game catalog. It's hard.
crazy. Yeah,
It's just hard to argue. It's just hard to argue. He does have a really good big game catalog. Sometimes he doesn't play well in those games and he'll score a goal, but at least
yeah.
he has memorable moments. Bruno does not have memorable moments.
Bruno, I'm struggling to
Think seriously.
remember.
In the big games, Europa League, Champions League, the league against the Big Six. Where are his big moments?
He's maybe had more recently. Funny enough, I think
The FA Cup.
against Arsenal in FA Cup. Really, the FA Cup last season is when he's had most of his big game moments for
Yeah,
United.
yeah.
That's about it. But guys, this is not good enough. He's our captain. This is the guy that people are saying the best player since Alex Ferguson. When Gerrard was at his pomp and was the best player in the banter era, that guy's big game catalog is insane. Like,
Yeah.
don't even chat. You can't chat to Stevie G, man. Like with his big game catalog, crazy things he was doing. That is what I expected from Bruno Fernandes. That's what I wanted because the way you guys hype him, that's what he should be. But that's what he should be doing. But he can't. He's not even close. He's not on the same scale. So that is the levels. That's the levels. Don't come and tell me, oh, Bruno, this Bruno, dude. He's no better than who would have him? John Joe Shelby in big games, and that's Bruno. John Joe Shelby. Like,
where are his big moments against Arsenal? Where are his big moments against Spurs? Where are his big moments against
like
Chelsea?
we're playing Chelsea this weekend. Bruno, do something. Please step up.
Where are his big moments?
Just shut me up.
In the Europa League. In the Europa League. In those big games, especially under Oli, he was poor. He was poor. Like Eric Ten Hag threw him out on the right-hand side. When he was playing number 10 in the Europa League under Oli, he wasn't doing anything. Like,
guys,
nothing.
like you guys need to understand, like Z, the kind of players I rate in that kind of position in attacking midfield, like for Manchester United, is crazy.
Crazy.
Like the levels are crazy. My favorite player. Hold on. My favorite player. This guy. This is a number 10.
That's a number 10.
This is a number 10. Okay?
Number 10.
So
you like
it's not the same levels.
Think about what Kaká did to us. I honestly, that's probably a top 5 performance against Manchester United of all time.
Yo, that Kaká performance at Old Trafford, it was mad.
That performance is one of the greatest performances I have ever seen in my life. Like, there's nothing that Bruno, like, we don't, bro, Paul. Okay, let's use Paul Pogba, for instance. I can name you so many Manchester United Paul Pogba moments. So many. And I'm not saying he hit the heights he needed to hit, but I can.
He didn't. But yeah.
I can give you big moments against every team. I remember goals against Arsenal. I remember goals against Man City. I remember goals against Chelsea. Like, I don't think he didn't do much against Liverpool, to be fair. I don't remember too many big Liverpool. I'm trying to remember.
Liverpool, he struggled a lot against Liverpool. Pogba.
But Europa League moments, I remember that game against AC Milan where he came on in the second half after we were place out.
Bruno,
Europa League final goal. Like, there's nothing, literally nothing worth. Like, the assist for Manu is the only thing I can remember.
Guys, Z, like, Bruno is not, like, even in terms of pure numbers, he's not as creative as you guys think he is.
No.
Like, honestly speaking, we play through Bruno a lot, right? When you play through a player a lot and the player gets the ball a lot, of course their numbers are gonna be pretty high, and that's what we do. But he's not a creative player. Like, I would die on this hill that Bruno Fernandes is not a creative player. Go back and watch real classic number 10s. Like, the number 10 position in general has died. There's not a lot of number 10s. So what are you comparing Bruno to? De Bruyne? De Bruyne is better.
He's not even on the same. He's not on the same stratosphere as Kevin. He's not on the same. It's not even close. It's not even close. Not even close.
And you guys need to remember, like, it's not just me saying this. Before we signed him, our scouts were like, Bruno Fernandes gives away the ball too much. This is our own scouts. He gives away the ball too much. So when your scouts are telling you, "Hey, this is not good," and me, I'm a layman. I just watch football on average, like you guys do, and then we're seeing the same thing. And he's 30 years old now, which means his legs are gonna go. He didn't really have legs as much before, but he's gonna only get slower. So thank you for the moments. You've done some good things for us.
Yeah, you
I
still.
respect that, but long term, we need better. We need better. I
Yeah,
have 15 Premier League goals and assists. This is not creatively. I can't, come on,
bro,
Jesus.
bro, you
Where,
got it. You got it.
where's
Listen,
look at Bruno's numbers?
see,
Because I have a little bit of time today because I don't. We
yeah, bro.
always hear this. Let's look at Bruno's numbers because
No,
people always say this.
he is a high volume, low efficiency player. If you are on the ball and hoofing the ball 20 times and it comes off once after you've given the ball away 10 times, it does not matter because you gave the ball away so many times. High volume, low efficiency. Not a top player. Not a top player. Like and mind you, the goals. He doesn't even score goals like that anymore. He's not scoring.
He takes our pens, guys. He
And
takes our
he takes
penalties.
pens. And he takes pens. He's not scoring. He's not scoring goals in open play like that. Like, come on, man. Seriously, I'm even curious. How many goals did he score last season? He had a good.
He scored.
He had a good back end of
He
the season. You
he
want to
scored
go
10 goals and 8 assists.
in
All
all
right,
comps? Yeah.
in all comps last season. Right now, question. Right, people liked telling me that Cunha is mid. Okay, how many goals do you think Cunha scored last season for Wolves? 12. How many assists do you think he got? 7.
Yeah.
He got one less assist than Bruno Magnifico. That's playing for Manchester United.
Yeah, bro.
And Cunha is
Mind you,
mid.
I'm not a GA guy in the first place. I don't think goal. I'm not a GA guy. I really am not. Just because you score
No,
goals,
no, no, I know. But like the stats are not that crazy. Like they're not like okay, like it's whatever.
Lukaku scored way more goals than Roberto Firmino. Who's a better player? I do not care. I do not care. There's tons of people who score goals. Does not mean they're top players. I promise you. I promise you. We finished with 8th place with this guy. We're currently in 14th with this guy. Like everybody in the team has been switched around except for this guy and Marcus Rashford. We've changed all the players except for those two. How about we try?
Different pressure. Guys, no,
How about we
listen,
try
listen. It's not about pressure because you guys use the GA argument a lot. And I just wanted to show you how silly GA is. Right? So you're gonna say pressure. Okay. That's part of playing football. Every player is under pressure. Now you can say Manchester United, I agree, the pressure is higher. But when it comes to the pitch, your ability is what helps you deal with pressure. So when you're a player that is, if you're confident on the ball, the reason why players that are so silky on the ball, their talent level is this high, pressure doesn't face them because it's hard to get the ball off them.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get the ball off Bruno Fernandes.
Facts.
That's part of the problem. That's why in big games he struggles. I'm not gonna we can come to an agreement. I think he's been a decent player for us, but to say he's been our best player post Alex Ferguson, I think he's had one of the best seasons post Alex Ferguson, but he's not been the best because I've saw like that Zlatan season, what he did that season at the age of 37. It's just far more impressive. Paul Pogba's had more impressive seasons than Bruno.
Facts.
Like, come on, it's
Facts.
not it's not this it's not the same. I
I'm
don't
like,
want to discredit Bruno too much because his fanboys think that people just hate him. I don't hate Bruno. He fit a system that worked with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but now it doesn't work. You can't just shoehorn him. You can't force him into a manager's hands and be like, yeah, Bruno Fernandes gets good GA. Here,
facts.
football doesn't work like that anymore. You need a player that suits Amorim. And forcing Amorim to use Bruno is not good management. It's not how we're going to move forward. It's not how we're going to progress. If you want to do that, sure, let's keep on doing what we've been doing the last several years, and we can keep on being a banter club. Well, we need to move forward. We need players that suits the manager. That's all I'm saying. That's all. And Bruno is not going to suit the manager.
Pogba was a disease, but he won Europa League and a Carabao Cup. Nah, yeah, that makes a ton. It's just not,
Yeah.
not true. It's just not true. It's just not true. So final task for Bruno is to be the goal scorer. No, his task is to play well. That's what his task is to do. I don't think you're understanding me. Like his task is to play well. His task is to keep the ball. Keep the ball.
Yeah.
Be an influence on the team outside of just I hoof the ball and I'll get the
And
odds there.
you guys will see it. And I've watched Amorim more than most. I've followed Amorim more than most. And I will tell you right now, he will clock Bruno Fernandes
Quick.
very fast. Very fast. You're gonna see it. And people like he just doesn't have what you want in those forward areas. That ability in tight spaces. If we're gonna play hoofball counter attack, sure, play Bruno. But if we're gonna dominate possession, try and play intricate passes, 1-2s, and movement, Bruno is not your guy. He's not your guy.
No.
I like him, but he's not. He's just not suited for what we want to do going forward. Like every rival fan that I speak to, like I was watching the top six today. All right, and shout out to Grizz. I don't. He's a Liverpool fan, and of course we're not going to agree on everything. But like you can tell from the rival fans how worried they are about Ruben Amorim. You can just tell from what they say and their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, United have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Compare that to the way they talk about someone like Bruno Fernandes or Ten Hag. Like
No one.
no one.
Does no one? Does
No,
anyone? Do any one of our rivals fear Bruno? Do you think they fear him?
no, they don't. It's
Do
not.
you think they?
This they probably still fear Rashford.
Yeah,
They probably still fear Rashford more than than Bruno.
Chelsea fear Bruno or Liverpool fear Bruno or Arsenal fear Bruno. Heck no, they don't. They don't because they have better players. They have better players in those positions. That's why. Like I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
Like what's his name? Socioball. Remember Socioball? Socioball, whatever Socioball. Liverpool fans were like, la, la, la. I was like, this guy is just a whatever. Where is he from?
Sabazlai.
So Bosla. I call him Socioball because of the way he plays. Socioball. But but he's not good. He's like another version of Bruno. He's that kind of player who technical ability, but he comes up with moments like, but he doesn't even do that. I think he's worse than Bruno, if anything. So again, that kind of profile doesn't work in the Premier League, guys. It doesn't work.
It does.
So we need different. And I'm hoping Ineos do not hamper the next manager by making him play Bruno and Rashford. We need to move on from these guys. We need to move on.
I agree.
Like, listen, he's getting benched by slots because the manager, if he's smart, will clock it. That kind of play doesn't work. Like Nunes, that helter-skelter play doesn't work in most games. So in most games, he doesn't use him. Like that's the reality. We want to control possession. We want to dominate the ball. Somebody was arguing with me on Twitter and telling me that, oh, we needed a manager that will dominate ball possession. That Amorim has only averaged 51% possession. I was like, wait the fuck a minute. I've watched sports and there's no way they. So I went to go look it up myself. They are top for average possession. Guess how many percent? 65% average ball possession.
Crazy. You think we can do?
Bro.
You think we can have average 65% possession with Bruno and Rashford in the team? You think that's possible?
Like, what are we doing here? Like, honestly.
Come on.
Guys, just do your own research. Don't fall in love with too much with players. Don't be player FC. I like Rasmus Højlund. If Rasmus Højlund doesn't do what he's meant to do, out.
Out.
Be gone.
I like
Go.
Xerxes.
We need to see.
I like Xerxes. If he doesn't do what he needs to do, kick rocks. Like I'm so serious. This is not like listen. And if Bruno proves me wrong, I promise you I'll be the first
Bro,
one.
I will be bro.
I will be the first one to say I was wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I won't be wrong, but if by some miracle I am, listen, I will be the first to call it out. I will. I'll say I was wrong. I don't have an issue being wrong. You feel me? But guys, I want to wrap up. I don't want to keep Brian.
Yeah.
We've gone long. Listen, it's been a great stream. It's been a fantastic stream. The celebration of ETH being out. We're gonna hopefully celebrate Ruben Amorim's official announcement this week. That would only make this week sweeter. You feel me? That would only make this week sweeter. But I think it's gonna happen in the next couple of weeks for sure. Guys, we appreciate the love, all the likes, all the subs. I'm seeing everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please hit the subscribe button. We're going for 800 subscribers at the current moment. We're having fun, man. We're having fun. I appreciate everyone who's in the chat. And I appreciate the different opinions. Listen, I love having people with different opinions, giving their thoughts, giving their feelings, man. I love it all. So let me do the shout outs real quick. Shout out Z, shout out Half, shout out Maria or Mario Santos, shout out JJ, shout out Michael King, shout out let's see. Man, the chat is long. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
start.
I know. Shout out to everybody here. Thanks for the engagement.
Shout out Regista Kev. Shout out Michael 75243. Shout out Juno Plays. Shout out Jose. Shout out JJ. Shout out Chow. Shout out Devin Yaboa. Shout out MCA Pox. Shout out Uthman. Shout out Rambo T. Shout out Kind FC. Shout out who am I missing? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Shout out Andrew and Lemadim. Shout out PS. Shout out Enma. Shout out Venetia. Shout out Blizzard Blue. Shout out Busala Dada. Shout out Rambo. So many people. Oh my goodness. Shout out MJ. Shout out sheesh. Man, I might have to ditch the shout out soon, man. You guys, there's too many of you now. Shout out PS, shout out Jerome Woods. Shout out Shraven. Shout out my guy Rhino. Shout out my guy David Mukuna. Shout out Jay Parks. Shout out Favor. Shout out S Mac. Shout out K1. Shout out Clue Crypt. I think that's it. Shout out. Yep, I think that's it. Shout out Rasmus. Hold my hand.
I don't know why I found that funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So appreciate everyone, man. Appreciate everyone in the chat, man. Appreciate everyone in the chat. That this was a fun stream. Hopefully, I'll dress up in a new some new native for Amorim's celebration when he comes in. You feel me? And we'll go from there. You feel me? We'll go from there. But no, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to follow Brian on all his platforms, on TikTok, on Twitter as well. Make sure to show my brother some love. Hit the like button as always. Hit the subscribe button, and we will talk very, very soon, people. Deuces.